Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with some EVE Online. I played around average EVE Online, maybe a little bit less than average. I'm not exactly sure, but it's gonna be pretty close. I did join the mass tests, which was pretty interesting. We're gonna get new bubbles coming in EVE Online pretty soon, and those looked really great. You'll get that video next week. I also did some exploration. I gave the Jackdaw another try, and I also explored in Galente space a little bit with the Ishtar. That was pretty good as well. Did some mining, and of course I kept up with the blueprint copy business, where the is it the Tatara? It's for the large refinery. That blueprint is still selling for almost like 400 million ISK, so that's not bad. It's like 1% of the price. I'm not sure how low it's going to go. It is of course going down as more and more people are bringing those blueprints to the market, but in general I feel like that has been a decent purchase, which will hopefully just increase the cash flow of my blueprint copy business with an extra blueprint copy that is only once a week, so it does take a while for me to produce those blueprint copies in absolute safety, but they are worth quite a little bit more than the others. Of course they have to, considering the size of the investment, but I don't need the liquid ISK right now, and so I feel like this is one that is going to keep returning me ISK at a good rate, and is going to basically allow me to do more stuff, like pay for the fuel and things like that, without having to worry too much, and of course also to start building on my own large refinery, which we're then planning to deploy in Dital when moon mining comes there. So that's basically the plan for now. Going to start to make some ISK, start to invest that ISK in some mostly raw materials probably for a large refinery, and then hopefully we'll be ready when that patch comes. Next up we have some Heroes of the Storm. I've played a decent amount of Heroes of the Storm, mostly focusing on the daily quests of course. I think I basically played the daily quest that I got every single day. It was close to that. Sometimes I did switch it up, only play a couple of games and then catch up on the next day, but in general I'm still keeping my daily quest queue empty. The types that I'm getting, well, it's still a bit of a mixed bag. At one point I had both play 3 games with a warrior hero and play 3 games with an assassin hero, so those quests are not easily combinable, which before it was a lot easier, because I would usually get like play 8 games, win 3 games, and then for instance play 2 games with a StarCraft hero. Okay, I play 2 games and I make some progress potentially in the other 2 quests as well. The next day play 2 games with an assassin hero, or 3 games, alright, I do that, and I also for instance finish the win 3 games quest, and as a result that way I then could skip a day and could basically keep my gold earnings close to its potential without having to play too many games. Now if I finish the daily quests every single day, it should be the same or close to the same, but it doesn't seem to be like that, because while I am getting different types of quests, mostly to like play 3 games with this type of hero, play 2 games with Diablo heroes, things like that, you don't really combine that, and you don't have those days where all of a sudden you're making 1,000 gold because you're also playing 8 games. I haven't seen that quest in a long time, so I think for next week I am going to try to switch it up there, going to let the quest queue fill up and see if there's a more efficient way of earning the gold that way, because for some reason I feel like this is not working out the way that I thought. I thought I would get that quest more often to play 8 games for instance, and then I could really spend the whole evening playing 8 games with the heroes that I prefer, and grab a good amount of gold, but it doesn't look like that's always coming as the first quest, so it's interesting. I'm going to have to experiment with that a little bit. And then for the final game this week, I played some more Guild Wars 2. I am trying to get into some World versus World. It's still not easy for me to do this like every evening, but I played like 3-4 times last week or something like that. It is a lot of fun, and it's also pretty much instant. Maybe there is a queue on the battlegrounds itself, but once you're in there, you can just go look for a commander, follow him, and in the Zerg you have like constant action, whether it is some PvE action going going after some towers or things like that where you're not contested, or massive PvP brawls, usually around the center castle. That can sometimes, I've had one evening where it was like pretty even between the 3 servers, so we were constantly harassing each other, chasing each other, breaking up the lines as well, and so we had these long battles where we had to constantly fight and then retreat and then try to find another angle, and it was very fun to follow that commander. I think he did a pretty damn good job to keep us alive, to keep us attacking, while the 2 other sides of course would sometimes gang up on us, sometimes engage each other. So there's a lot of fun there, instantly accessible fun in the world versus world of Guild Wars 2. I do enjoy it. It's basically the problem for me at the moment is that it's a little aimless. I don't really know what I'm progressing towards as I'm doing more of that world versus world. Of course you get the rewards and I keep getting some like interesting materials and things like that, but I do wonder that path to like progress and to maybe probably like different gear and things like that is really not clear to me. I'm not exactly sure how that works. So that's something that I'm studying. I'm trying to figure it all out. Hopefully I'll be able to stick with it because it's definitely an enjoyable part, even as at the moment still a free-to-play Guild Wars 2 player. World versus World is a very nice, very quick instant PvP action that you can enjoy without having it being as structured, for instance, as a MOBA, and thus as stressful as a MOBA. If I would compare that to my time in Heroes of the Storm, I never get angry at anything happening in World versus World. I just go around, try and blast them with AoE attacks, try and do some healing for my own group, follow up the commander, see what he decides to do, enjoy my time there. It's completely free of the stress that you do get in a MOBA 5 versus 5, where, well, it's very important that everyone in the team actually pulls their weight. So I'm enjoying that, and I'm obviously going to try and explore more of that as well. I think that's gonna be it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.